night, and that near-capacity crowd saw a grand final that did justice to a tremendous series.
What a spectacle. The ice house almost packed for a change of sport. For the first time, the netballers came indoors to find the champion team from the four strongest associations in the region. Hatherleigh in blue and gold upset Nangwarry in the semis with its pace and the shooting of Marty Walker. They kept looking for her in the final, but the North defence wasn't going to allow a repeat. Marita Chuck and Nicola Day were grabbing every rebound. But in a game where it became more and more important, the Hatherleigh defence tightened as well. North moved to a 5-goal lead in the second quarter, but the Hatherleigh mid-court players were coming back. The only stumbling block, though, that magnificent Tigers last line. $500 was up for grabs for the winner of the final. North just about had it in the bank early in the third as it skipped out to a 17-9 lead. The reason? Sue Sidebottom was on fire, and Marianne Walters continued to find her as the Western Border powerhouse just about shut the gate to lead 23-15 at the final change. But this game wasn't over. Marita Chuck was grabbing everything and taking herself toward the Most Valuable Player award. But the Eagles shooters weren't out of it. They came back very hard. The team started to find Marty Walker, and she didn't let them down. In a thriller, Hatherleigh dragged it back to within 2 with just a minute to play. But it was Marita Chuck again who lifted and denied Walker the chance to pull her team closer. North took a stunning game by 3 goals to be the first name on the Perpetual Trophy.
Great series. Gambier Green has broken a decade-long drought to win the A-Grade Tennis Association Championship at the weekend. Green downed a gallant Uniting Church to give the Gambier club its 3rd successive shield.
It was a match that lived up to all its expectations for Uniting their first grand final. For their opponents, Gambier Green, the chance to take home their first A-grade shield since the 1982-83 season. What materialised was an engaging struggle. Green number 1 Stephen Blake pulled off a crucial 9-8 victory in the last of the men's singles against Uniting's Dennis Matthews. That victory was undoubtedly the turning point, giving Gambier a 5-3 lead. Immediately, our Gallants Uniting fought back. Their number 2 ladies doubles team of Julie Oldfield and Natalie Sweet, closest to screen, were again too good for Gambier's Kirley Barry and Michelle Billett. The men's doubles told an entirely different tale, the standard worthy of a grand final shootout. Gambier's bottom team of John Plunkett and Robert Walters, furthest from screen, treated an enthusiastic crowd to some marathon rallies against Uniting's Barry Bryan and Graham Millhouse. Other points were over in a flash, but the Gambier side was triumphant. Touches of class were abundant as they took out the clash in straight sets. The title was not decided until the end of the top ladies doubles. The awesome twosome of Cassie Edwards and Jenny Osmond, just too powerful for Uniting's Alison Telford and Karen Mitchell. In the end, the Gambier club took home its 3rd successive premiership in what was a fitting finale to the season.
Well, Penola and North Gambier have survived the Mad Gambier
Sprint car series and a healthy cheque for $14,000. Again, at borderline Speedway, he outdrove his rivals. From the moment he got the green light, it was always going to be his race. Brazier faced stiff competition from the cream of Australia's sprint car drivers and American top guns Danny Smith and Mike Ward, but never at any stage were they a major threat. There was disappointment for local fans. The Southeast's favourite son, Bill Barrows, was forced to retire after the opening qualifying race after mechanical problems. And some drivers had trouble staying clear of each other. In the end, though, the result was a $4,500, Queensland's Nathan McDonald 2nd and South Australian Jamie Cobby 3rd. The street stocks and hot rods had a tough act to follow and provided a Mount Gambier double. Gerard Bolt and Mark Jennings were the respective. Both hail from the Blue Lake City. Meanwhile, veteran Max Dumsney has taken out Australia's most prestigious sprint car race, the $55,000 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, held in Warrnambool at the weekend.
The underrated Uniting Church combination of Dennis Matthews and Stuart Telford is the new Mount Gambier District Tennis Association doubles champion after the tournament at the weekend. In the corresponding ladies event, the makeshift combination of Jenny Osmond and Marita Chuck was victorious at Olympic Park.
Bright sunshine and still conditions greeted the players for the annual Mount Gambier and District Tennis Association tournaments at Olympic Park. This year, knockout events were restricted to just the Open titles. The rest were round robins. Some of the players quickly found out that tennis can be a hazardous sport. In the showpiece events, the Open doubles, it was Uniting Church's Dennis Matthews and Stuart Telford who fought out a straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-4 against Paul Cremieri and Stephen Blake. In the ladies, Gambier's Jenny Osmond and Reedy's Marita Chuck joined. After winning the opening set 6-4, the pair found themselves facing a 4-2 deficit against opponents Julie Oldfield and Karen Mitchell from Uniting Church. But Osmond and Chuck steadied and took out the set 6-4 and the championship. The team completed a sensational double by winning the A1 doubles. Gambier's Donna Creek and Kylie Ashby surprised everyone by finishing second. There was no men's A1 doubles, but Murray Burdett and Adrian Childs, furthest from camera, took out the A2 events. The day's closest result came in the B1, B2 ladies doubles. Just one game separated the top three teams. It was Trudy Ann Doyle and Tiffany Swiggs who just edged out the mother-daughter combination of Sonia and Natasha Baisley, closest to camera. Organisers say they're very pleased with the higher-than-expected number of entries in all events.
The Speckled Grunters have proven themselves the best beach volleyball combination in the region, with a win in yesterday's final of the Great Beach Volleyball Challenge. The team picks up $500, 7 of the 8 major titles, to register 82 points. That nearly trebled the score of second-place getter Hamilton.
We're right in the middle of the busy time of year for our cyclists, and the Track Championships is the chance for the riders to compete on behalf of their clubs, rather than just individually. The big prize is the Basil Clark Memorial Shield, awarded to the club that accumulates the most points over the meet. The Mount Gambier Club has won it more times than any other since the competition began in 1962, only just ahead of Hamilton. It was clear from early on Saturday that the 1994 version was going to be very hotly contested. Mount Gambier was looking set to dominate early. In the A-grade scratch race, Heath Riley was trying hard to break that pattern, but he was fighting a losing battle. When the power was on, it was 3 Mount Gambier riders who led them home.
Kelly it is that goes to the line. Coopman challenging on the outside.
That was one of 3 individual titles for Dean Kelly. Ian Bald, who came in third, won 3 events in the 7 of the 8 major titles. Tim Koopman continued some of the form that's seen him in the middle of his most successful run, and that made sure Mount Gambier was never going to be seriously challenged, putting its name on the Basil Clark Memorial Trophy for the 14th time.
Meanwhile, Gambier's Jenny Osmond and Stephen Blake have had a double dose of glory in the Mount Gambier and District Tennis Association Mixed Doubles Championship at the weekend. Osmond and Blake took out the Open and A1 titles at Olympic Park. In the former, they upset the top seeds along the way.
Gambier A1 players Jenny Osmond and Stephen Blake, furthest from screen, must be counting their blessings after last weekend's Mixed Doubles Championships. In a semi-final match in the Open event, they were down to match points in the second set against top seeds Paul Cremieri and Marita Chuck. But Cremieri and Chuck could not convert the opportunity, a moment that would be a turning point in the match. Blake and Osmond took the set in a tiebreak and then won the final set 6-2. The pair faced Dennis and Penny Matthews from Uniting Church in the final, and it turned out to be a one-sided affair, a 6-3, 6-love win to Osmond and Blake. The new champions must have experienced a real sense of deja vu in the A1 events. The round robin saw the team finish just one game ahead of, yes, you guessed it, Dennis and Penny Matthews, with Paul Cremieri and Marita Chuck one game further back. The closest match of the day was a 3-hour marathon in the Open events between Tracy Rebons and Ray Zobel, closest to screen, and Donna Creek and Craig Edwards. Creek and Edwards triumphed, but only just, in a remarkable scoreline, 6-7, 7-6, 6-4.
Tigers has come back after the Christmas break looking like a different team in the Mount Gambier and District Baseball League. Before the festive season, it looked completely out of touch. Now it's won 2 in a row, even looks a chance for the finals.
It's been an amazing turnaround for Tigers. Some terrific fielding now has the team looking good. The pitching of Michael Hewitt hasn't hurt either. The battle with Federals wasn't all one way though. Federals looked like it had the game in control until the 8th inning. But pitcher Shane Howard was struggling to settle back into life on the mound after returning from state duties. Tigers took advantage. In the 8th, they put a runner across the plate to get home 5-4. The game of the round was the contest between South in red and white and the competition leading Centrals. The relief pitching of Adrian Wallace was always going to come under pressure against the most powerful batting lineup in the competition. But he didn't start too badly. The game was even up until the 5th. Then the combination of Steve Cull and the Centrals fielders turned it on. They shut out South for the rest of the match and then proceeded to pile on 11 runs in 4 innings to win convincingly against a team that before Christmas had been one of the... looked like